CCW Super Show 5 main event time in a 30-minute Iron Man match between Brandon Barbwire and best of the best Austin Lane. And even though this is a 30-minute Iron Man match, ladies and gentlemen, I do not have enough time to detail the history that these two men have together. This started almost 6 years ago at the very second ever CCW show, where Austin Lane faced Ricochet in the main event, and is when he first crossed paths with Brandon Barbwire running afoul of the Pinnacle. And in that time, there has been bad blood, there has been retirements, there has been assaults, there has been amazing matches as two veterans who know each other so well. Austin asking if he wants to break it early here in the match. The human highlight reel, Missouri's most malicious. On CCW Live, I predicted that this would only be a one-fall 30-minute match because of how evenly matched they are. I could end up being very, very wrong. Caleb Carter, the host of the Four Sides podcast, our ring announcer here, he predicted it would go a lot higher than that. So I feel like it's one or the other. There's not going to be a middle ground here. Austin Lane, of course, this feud being reignited when Austin Lane returned to CCW to back up his friend Zay Washington when Zay challenged Brandon Barbwire for the CCW championship, ultimately preventing Brandon from using a chair and helping Zay win the championship from Brandon. In the next month, Brandon Barbwire came out and cost Austin Lane his match with Trent Daniels for the pure open weight championship. Both of these men could be champion if it wasn't for the other right now. And that has led to this. This is two absolute pros, two former CCW champions. Two of the best to step foot in this ring. Austin Lane exploding with that drop kick coming off of Brandon's just blatant disrespect. Austin claiming he can go all night, but he doesn't need to. He's just got to go 30 minutes. No love lost here between Austin Lane and Brandon Barbwire. Austin having to break the count at 4. He's already at 4. He doesn't want to get disqualified. Disqualifications count for a point. If Austin Lane gets himself disqualified, Brandon Barbwire goes up a point. And that is then 2 points that Austin Lane has to score, 2 falls that Austin Lane has to score to be able to win this main event contest at Super Show 5. Austin Lane wanting to out-wrestle Brandon. Austin Lane wanting to prove that he is, in fact, the best of the best. Not just at CCW, but in wrestling in general. Arm is trapped. Oh! Austin Lane playing the long game here, hoping this. You got to think that if he can take out Brandon Barbwire's arm early in the match, that he can then, use that down the stretch. They have to go 30 full minutes. And if Brandon is doing that one-handed, that's going to be a whole lot harder for the hashtag one true champ, as he calls himself. But I mean, there was no championship when it came out. Austin Lane bouncing Brandon's head right off of the ring apron there. Oh. Austin Lane. If he can get Brandon down early, but he's got to get him back in the ring for a pinfall. Unless he wants to try to maybe get a count out, but Austin has to get in the ring for that. Austin now guiding Brandon, bouncing him head first off of the ring apron again. The ring apron, oh, Brandon Barbwire now fighting out. Shot to the midsection, big right hand. Trying to blast Austin Lane's face into that metal guardrail. Austin blocks, manages to slam Brandon Barbwire head first into the guardrail. Both competitors still, oh! Brandon Barbwire then shoving Austin Lane. Looked like shoulder first right into the steel ring post. And it's worth noting, those steel ring posts, those aren't rounded off. Those have hard edges. Those have corners. And that could easily break a collarbone if you hit that wrong. Now it's Brandon's turn, bouncing Austin Lane's head off of the ring apron. Now here on the wooden entry ramp. Oh, Brandon Barbwire hitting a big side effect. One of Brandon Barbwire's earliest defenses as CCW champion years ago was against Matt Hardy. So I expect nothing but for the two of these men to pull out all sorts of stops here to put the other away. Brandon Barbwire believes himself to be the one true champ of CCW. Austin Lane believes himself to be the best of the best, but neither can truly exist with the existence of the other. Austin Lane holding on with anything that he can. Does not want to fall backwards onto that wooden ramp. He's already felt it once. He doesn't want to do it again. Oh, Austin Lane rolling through, catching Brandon Barbwire with a jumping knee strike. Big suplex. 1, 2. Austin Lane going for an early point here. We're still here in the first part of this main event Iron Man match, 30 minutes. Whoever can score the most falls, submissions, will be victorious here. Now just a blatant choke from Brandon Barbwire. Again, has to be careful about getting disqualified, about losing those points. Brandon Barbwire not able to pick up that pinfall. Austin Lane with his foot on the bottom rope. Oh, wow. Austin Lane's foot still on that bottom rope. Brandon Barbwire kicking right at the knee. Crowd kind of getting in Brandon's head here a little bit, maybe. Big right hand from Brandon Barbwire. Oh, Austin Lane begging for another one. That last one rocking him, sending him down. Brandon Barbwire again, a blatant choke here in the corner. Breaking it at 3. Brandon Barbwire up and catching Austin Lane, stacking him up, but Austin Lane kicking out. I wonder how much energy Austin Lane just exerted to keep the score tied at 0-0. Austin Lane trying to fight his way back to his feet, but Brandon Barbwire doing anything he can to keep him down, keep him at the knees, prevent Austin Lane from getting back to his feet. And Austin Lane asking for more. Austin getting rocked by that clothesline, propped up on the ropes. Brandon Barbwire again going for a cover. 2, 3. Oh, the inside shoulder coming up at the last possible moment. But again, how much is it costing Austin in the long term to keep the score tied up at 0-0 here? Brandon Barbwire kicking Austin to the outside. Is he just grinding Austin Lane's face into the ring apron there? It looks like. I'm at a bad angle, but that is where the metal frame of the ring meets. Like the padding ends right there, but Austin Lane fighting his way out. Oh, big headbutt. That might have broken Austin. Oh! Brandon Barbwire with the drop toe hold, tripping up Austin Lane, sending him almost throat first, it looked like, into that metal barricade. Brandon dragging Austin to his feet just to knock him right back down. It was at the Ashland McClure Memorial, I believe it was 2 years ago, when Austin Lane announced that he was retiring from wrestling. And in the middle of that speech, after facing Brandon Barbwire and seemingly earning his respect and a show of respect, Brandon brutally attacked Austin and told him that he could only retire when Brandon said so. And after that, it had been quite a while since we've seen Austin Lane here at CCW, but now that he's back, things picked right back up. Now Austin and Brandon battling on the apron here. Austin back in the ring, Brandon draped over the top rope. Austin charges, Brandon sidesteps, and Austin lands hard right onto that wooden entry ramp. Absolutely no give. No give at all. Excuse me, I'm sorry for my voice. Referee trying to check on Austin Lane, Brandon Barbwire. Brandon Barbwire telling him to get back into the ring. Brandon dropping an elbow. Again, the score is still at 0-0. Missouri's most malicious, showing why he has earned that moniker as he dumps Austin Lane back into the ring. Austin landing so hard on the outside, going for that spear, trying to throw everything that he can at Brandon Barbwire. Brandon going right after the shoulder. Austin may have dislocated the shoulder. He's saying something to the referee. I'm not sure what, but he's not going to find an ounce of mercy from Brandon Barbwire. Oh, Brandon dropping Austin with the DDT. Rolling him over, going for the cover. 2, 3. No. Austin with the bad shoulder. Kicking out. We are still at 0-0, folks. Despite Brandon Barbwire's best efforts. Flipping off the referee, going for a flying something. Austin Lane gets the shoe up, and Brandon Barbwire knocked loopy. Both men are down. This is a crucial point in the match. Who can make it to their feet first? Both men beginning to stir. Both to at least a knee. Austin on both knees. Oh, Brandon just throwing everything he can into those right hands, and Austin answering with some rights of his own. Austin Lane back to his feet. Brandon Barbwire back to his feet. Oh, jumping knee strike from Austin Lane. Austin off of the far rope, slides under German suplex. Knee strike to Brandon Barbwire. Going for the PWU driver. Kind of collapsed into it. I don't know if it was enough. 3. We are 1-0. 1. We are 1-0. Almost like a spiked PWU driver was enough to get the first fall here. And if that is enough to end the match, if we make it to the end of the 30-minute mark and that's still the only fall, Austin Lane will win this match, and my prediction will have come true. But there's still a lot of time. There is a lot of distance, a lot of road to be covered here tonight in our main event. Oh my God, Brandon Barbwire launching Austin into the far ring. Austin landing on his shoulders. Landing on Brandon Barbwire's shoulders, and Brandon just chucking him into that far ring there. Running elbow drop. Just Brandon doing anything he can to hurt Austin Lane. Going for a cover again. Begging the referee to count, but Austin Lane getting the shoulder up. We are still 1-0. Austin Lane. Both men to their feet. Austin off of the ropes. Brandon ducking the clothesline. Big double clothesline. Both men down again. Yet again the question, who will be the first back to their feet? Austin Lane first to his feet. Brandon Barbwire still stirring. Austin does not want to take the point for Brandon Barbwire not answering a 10 count. Austin trying to maneuver Brandon Barbwire. Looks like he's trying to get him into the near ring here. Oh, super kick right on the money. Brandon Barbwire tied up here tied up between the rings in a bad spot. If he's not careful, he might get caught in the gap there between the two rings. Austin Lane now climbing between the ropes from both rings. Austin jumping off, elbow drop to the midsection, driving Brandon Barbwire to the gap at the bottom. Austin going for the cover, unable to get the 3 count, trying to widen the gap, trying to widen his lead, looking to turn it into 2-0. Austin Lane now rolling to the outside, dragging Brandon by the arm. Brandon situated very unfortunately as Austin Lane, with removing the elbow pad, driving the elbow into the chest, into the neck area of Brandon Barbwire. But Brandon left in the middle of the ring here. Austin Lane on the outside. He's not capitalizing. He's not following up, and this is very unlike Austin Lane. Oh, well now Austin Lane has introduced a chair into the ring. Again, this is not. Disqualifications are in play here. Oh, Brandon Barbwire blatantly choking Austin Lane with it looks like a shirt. Oh, but Austin able to catch it. Is that a turnbuckle pad? They're in the far ring. I can't tell. And Austin Lane blasting Brandon in the face with a drink from a fan. And a big running spear. 1, 2, 3. No, that was 2. That was 2. We are still 1-0 here in the 30-minute Iron Man match. These two men know each other so well.
One more time.
Oh, Austin may be going for the spear again. Brandon Barbwire with malice. Austin Lane, 1, 2, 3. No, again. Austin Lane kicking out of Brandon Barbwire's with malice. Brandon Barbwire is still behind by 1 fall. It is still 1-0. I was sure that was going to tie things up here. Oh, Austin Lane. That shoulder being driven into the ring post. Brandon Barbwire still right there. Austin Lane just collapsing. I don't know if there's anything left in him. Brandon Barbwire legs hook too. Austin Lane still managing to get the shoulder up. I don't know how he's doing this. I don't know what's going through Brandon Barbwire's mind right now. Barbwire to his feet. Austin Lane being pulled in. Brandon looking for that with Malice again. Austin Lane looking for the PWU driver. Brandon Barbwire with a spear of his own. We are 5 minutes left. Brandon Barbwire with an arm draped across Austin Lane, and Austin Lane kicking out. That is the 5-minute notice. Brandon Barbwire still down by 1 fall. Austin Lane leading at 1-0. We are under 5 minutes left as both men are down. And as intense as this match has been, as they have done everything they can think to do to each other so far, this is where all of the stops get pulled out. This is where things get turned into that next gear. Austin Lane wants to widen his lead. Brandon Barbwire needs to catch up here if he wants to consider himself the one true champ. If Austin Lane wants to consider himself the best of the best, they have to win this match. They have to prove it to each other. They have to prove it to themselves. And that is what this is about. Just throwing the best shot that they have at each other to see who can be left standing. Just trading right hands, trying to prove to themselves that these monikers that they are given are legit, that they are not just for show. They are not just a tagline. Is Austin Lane throwing a headbutt. Following up with another one. Brandon Barbwire is down now. Just clinging to Austin Lane. Austin is calling the shot. He's looking for the PWU driver again. He hits it for a second time. Falls across Brandon Barbwire. 2, 3. No. That time Brandon Barbwire gets the shoulder up. Brandon Barbwire gets the shoulder up. It's still 1-0. We are still 1-0. Austin Lane still has the advantage. Brandon Barbwire. We are coming down to the final here. What is Brandon Barbwire going to have to pull out here to even things up? Austin Lane wrenching back. Is Brandon going to tap? Is Brandon going to pass out? This is the 2-minute warning. Brandon Barbwire in a terrible way here. Austin Lane continues to wrench on the neck, on the shoulder of Brandon Barbwire. Brandon hitting Austin with a stunner. Austin Lane bouncing up from that stunner, but can Brandon Barbwire capitalize? This final stretch is so important. Brandon has got to tie it up here if he has any hope of winning this match. 2, 3. Was that? No, that was 2. That was 2. Brandon Barbwire still unable to score his first fall here, and there are 60 seconds left on the clock. We are still 1-0. Brandon Barbwire. Austin catches the boot. Austin hitting Brandon with a stunner of his own. We are in the final 30 seconds. Brandon is down. Austin Lane is in control. He is up 1-0. But he doesn't want it to be 1-0. He wants to prove that he's better than Brandon. Brandon Barbwire with the rope-assisted pin. Brandon Barbwire at the last possible moment 15 seconds. Brandon Barbwire at the last possible moment. Oh, well, this match was a draw, but Papa Stun, our general manager out here.
You guys need time. Don't give us time. Get Jerry out of here.
I mean, these guys just gave it all for 30 minutes of the match. I don't know, what do y'all think?
Austin Lane calling for sudden death overtime. Well, 5 minutes added to the clock, no DQ. Austin Lane, Brandon Barbwire surviving 30 minutes. Brandon tying things up 1-1. All right, 5 minutes. 5-minute limit, no disqualification, first fall to a finish. There will not be another tie unless neither man can putt the other away. Austin Lane has a chair in hand. This is exactly... Oh, but Austin Lane throwing it aside.
I'm better than you.
Austin Lane claiming he's better than Brandon Barbwire, going for the stunner. 1, 2, that would have almost been the fastest sudden death. But Brandon Barbwire somehow getting the shoulder up. Austin Lane does not want to use a weapon. He doesn't want to cheat. He wants to prove that he is the best of the best. He wants to prove that he is Brandon's better.
See ya.
Oh, Brandon out of nowhere with Malice. Austin Lane, 2, again, just at the last possible moment. Austin Lane manages to get the shoulder up. You had to assume it was a matter of time. I thought it was pretty odd that Jeff Odell was not out here with Brandon Barbwire. But now that it's no DQ, you have to think the pinnacle coming into play.
Do it. Do it. The chair's right there.
Jeff Odell was imploring Brandon to use the chair. Brandon now instructing the referee to eject Jeff Odell. But Austin used that time, counters looking for that PWU driver. Brandon catching Austin with Malice for a third time. Is this enough? Is this enough? Oh, Brandon with the chair. Brandon cracking Austin Lane straight in the head immediately after the with Malice. 1, 2, 3. How? How in the world did Austin Lane kick out? Brandon Barbwire sending Jeff Odell away. Brandon Barbwire then turning around to use the chair. But it still isn't enough to keep Austin Lane down. And again, this last final 5 minutes is no DQ.
This is the way you want to do it?
Austin Lane almost daring Brandon Barbwire to hit him again. Austin catching it though. Brandon kicking the chair away before Austin can use it. Up and down again goes Austin Lane. And there it is, the sudden death overtime. Well, Brandon Barbwire rejected the help of Jeff Odell. He still used the steel chair, but in the final 5 minutes, it was no DQ. Anything goes. But Brandon Barbwire has proven to himself and to CCW that he has bested Austin Lane here at Super Show 5.